Well, hi friend. Thanks for stopping by today. Well, we're going to continue working on this hurricane-proof chicken coop. I got some more siding work I need to get done, and then on the other side, I need to get a door on there, and then we can start working on the inside of it, getting roosting bars and nesting boxes and things like that installed. And you know what I was going to say? I think I'm going to change the style of these videos. I think what I'm going to do is instead of showing you everything and like the fast forward thing like I've been doing with the music in the background, I think I'm just going to kind of tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like after it's done. I mean, you've seen me put enough of that siding up, so you probably don't want to sit here and watch that for a couple minutes. So I'll let you know when I get it done. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, well, we've made some good progress. We've got the siding done around the corners to the front side of the house there. Kind of come into the door. I got to do a little bit more trimming. And also, you know what I forgot to do? I wanted to put a hole right here for the automatic chicken door. And I kind of forgot to do that. So I guess I'm gonna have to pull that piece back off and figure that out. But making some good progress. Got a little bit left to do up here. That's it. All right, I made a little progress. I wanted to show you what I did here. I used a piece of that drip lip and put it on the corner of the doorway here, and then I trimmed this piece of corrugated. I'm gonna screw this down real good and tight to kind of prevent water from getting behind it, touching that plywood. Okay. So got up to there, and now I've taken that other piece off over here. I got to cut my little chicken doorway in, and then I will do the same thing on that side. And now I have my chicken doorway cut. I have it framed out. I'll show you the inside, as I actually framed out the hole. That way when the screws for the door come in, they've got something to go into. And I did a little step for I just out of scrap wood for the chickens on the inside so they can step onto it before they go out the door. Alrighty, keep going on. All right, progress update. I got the door cut in. So the white piece you see here is actually the side of like a washing machine or a dryer. I cut that out a while back. This is kind of repurposed. And basically when this type of door opens up, this door slides up and down, and it's got to be pretty smooth here for it to slide up and down. So I didn't want the corrugated behind the door. So that's why I'm using that plain flat steel. I got a brand new door showing up tomorrow. Okay, and let's see, cut in around the door, looking good. And the only thing I got left is a little bit of cut in right there. Kind of slow going today with the heat and the threat of rain, but we're making some progress.
1 week later.
Well, it's about time, but I finally got all of this siding done. Boy, I tell you what a royal pain in the butt that was, but I'm hoping that this is going to be super strong, super resilient against rain and wind and that sort of thing. I got the doorway finished. I did kind of like a backwards drip lip here to protect the wood from any water. And then I screwed the edge down really well with a little caulk behind it to prevent any water intrusion onto that plywood like I was talking about before. And then I also did a little caulking along the top edges here to prevent any water from going behind the corrugated and getting the plywood wet. Now I did not caulk along the bottom, and my reasoning for that, or my thought behind that, is the fact that if any water does get behind the corrugated, it'll be able to flow down and run out, and the plywood can dry. That's something I'm gonna have to keep an eye on, and really it'll probably take about a year for me to just tell if this idea really worked. You know, after we get rain and And well, not that I'm hoping for any kind of wind event, but if we get one, we'll see how it holds up, how it handles it. So now the next thing I need to work on is I'm going to do a shelf over here for some nesting boxes, and then of course over here we're going to do roosting bars. Well, real quick, for those of you that don't know, I kind of wanted to share this with you. I picked up my very first piece of wood and saw this. And for those of you that don't know, that is a juvenile black widow. The spots on his back have not developed into the typical hourglass shape that you're used to seeing. And but that's a dangerous little critter. Yeah, I don't think I can allow that one to keep existing on the farm.
Yeah, that's right. I'm bad.
Okay, here we go. So I got a simple little shelf going on, and I wanted to point out these little plastic tubs that we use. My wife found those, I don't even know where, Aldi's or something like that, or maybe Dollar General. They are just a little tub. They do come with a lid, but we typically don't use the lid. And then inside of them, we use these little mats that you can buy. And I know this one's really dirty, but these are repurposed from our old chicken coop. So they're gonna be reused. The shelf is big enough for 4 of them. I just got a little support over on this end, and then I put a little slightly larger piece of wood here so that these can't be pushed. And now we have a small skeleton structure, just enough for that plywood to sit on. And now to get the plywood on there. There we go. Now it's got our roof on it. Roof, for lack of a better word. Basically, I know this is a little bit of a wasted space, but this is at a very sharp angle so that the chickens can't roost above the nesting boxes at all. That's basically all that's meant for. All right. Now the next step, we got to get our roosting bars in here on this side. Well, it's starting to take shape. I put a 4x4 in the ground. That's the nice thing about a dirt floor. And then I put this 2x4 attached to that and attached to the ceiling. Now that's going to be, off of that 2x4 is going to be the roosting bars. It's starting to look like a chicken coop because, well, the chickens are starting to come in here. And while I was out taking a little break, one of the chickens came in and laid an egg in the nesting box. It was one of the free range chickens. They're just looking around, looking for places to hide their eggs on me. All right, so now the next thing is we're gonna start doing roosting bars kind of from here. I do like a spiral staircase kind of looking roosting bar. You'll see what that looks like here in just a minute. All right, now I'm gonna show you a better way to do roosting bars. So many people, when they do roosting bars, they install their roosting bars like this. And if you're like me, you are under the misconception that, this is the better way because the chickens like to put their feet over something and kind of clamp down. But here's the thing, about a year ago, we installed roosting bars in our big mobile chicken coop flat, like this, 2x4 laid flat. Now, granted, it is a little bit more of a pain because you gotta brace and block to lay this board flat. But more than a year ago, we did this in our big mobile chicken coop. And since then, we have had not one single instance of bumblefoot. So I am thoroughly convinced that making your roosting bars flat like this is the better option. And of course, if you're in a colder climate, this is a nicer option for the chickens. Their feet can sit flat on this, and then their body sits down over their feet, and their feathers will keep them warm. But with all that being said, my chicken roosting bars are now complete. And like I said, it's kind of like a spiral staircase. I started there and there and there around the center pole, and there and there down to the very bottom one. And so they can start from the ground, they can go up as easy as they want up to the very top and fill in from there. All right, so that part's complete. Now, the inside of this chicken coop is now essentially done. That's it. The only thing I got to do now is the 2 doors. I got to put a door on the outside and install the new chicken door. All right, that's what we're going to get into next.
1 year hence, 100 years from now, what does it matter?
All right, check this out. I just finished building this door. Now it's time to get it installed on the chicken coop. Okay, I got my door made. I got my door temporarily hung. I've only got a couple of screws in there, a couple of hinges. I need to get one more hinge on there. I need to get some more screws on there. And then the door will be 99% complete. I still want to do like a, what do they call that? A door jamb on the inside, because right now there's nothing to kind of stop it. And of course I got to have a latch on the outside, that sort of thing. But those are little tiny details we can follow up with later on. Right now, I need to get the hinges finished, and let's see if we can get that chicken door done before the weather chases us back inside. All right, now the chicken door is complete. We just got to get some batteries in there and set the timer. That should be good to go. I find it kind of funny because we've got a couple of rogue chickens that have already made themselves a little home in the house. They're going to get evicted shortly. And our door's 99% complete. All we got to do is just got to do a little door frame on the inside, or door jamb on the inside, and latch on the outside, and that will be complete. So I know we did a lot in this video, but the house is essentially complete at this point. Come back next time and we're going to start prepping the yard, and got to get our fence up for the chicken yard. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Do me a favor, if you find my videos fun or interesting, or maybe you learned something, give me a like or a subscribe, and don't forget to stay awesome. Spread some kindness and know that you are valued. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one.